Well, how good are we at affective forecasting, at predicting how we will feel? Not very well. We are poor emotional time travelers. And specifically, we tend to overestimate both the intensity and the duration of our feelings. And this occurs both for positive and for negative events. Well, we propose to extend this work to benevolent and hurtful behaviors. Now, this is considerably more complex, but I think it's considerably more fascinating and important because this is where the forecasts really matter. In other words, so our definition of wisdom includes three parts. One is that wisdom should include accurate affective forecasting. That is, we should have a good sense of how we will feel in the future. It should also include accurate interpersonal affective forecasting. And by that we mean predicting how someone else will feel as a result of our behavioral choices. To our knowledge, no one has directly researched this question, but I think it is consistent with other definitions of wisdom that go beyond the individual. And flowing from those two should be choosing benevolent rather than hurtful behaviors. And our wise people, that is, our people that conform to our three-part definition of wisdom, are they happier intrapersonally? That is, do they report higher subjective well-being? And interpersonally, do they report good quality relationships? Or to put it another way, are people who live a good life living the good life? We propose several studies, and I'll mention a subset of them today. They include both moral-controlled lab experiments and longitudinal studies. They include behaviors such as donating to charity, competing versus cooperating, and forgiving versus not forgiving one's romantic partner. We will look at affective forecasting as well as interpersonal affective forecasting. And we will look at some of these personality characteristics to try to identify who are the wise among us. So one study that we are proposing involves a situation where people predict that they unexpectedly receive $10 and either donate it to charity or keep it. This forecast will be embedded in a series of predictions, and they'll be assigned to one scenario, sort of a high-pressure scenario that is designed to elicit that they do donate the money, and a low-pressure scenario designed that they will keep the money. We'll include some personality measures at that time period. And then about a month later, we'll have them come back, and now they experience what they made a prediction about. So they actually do unexpectedly receive $10. They donate or keep the money parallel to the condition they were in time one, and they report how they feel. So we can compare their prediction a month before with their actual emotion. And we predict that affective forecasting errors will extend to these sorts of decisions. That is, the predictions will be more extreme than the actual experience. Well, we think that these issues likely extend beyond the individual or the dyadic level, that making foolish choices based on forecasting errors may extend to other realms, how people decide to vote, what they decide to buy, even public policy. On the international level, we see the choice for endless reprisals, cycles of violence versus peaceful actions, decisions about foreign aid, decisions about international issues like the environment. I think often we are predicting how will our citizens feel about this choice? How will the citizens of another country feel about this choice? So I think you can expand some of these issues quite broadly. Ultimately, we make not all the incredible number of our decisions are based on affective forecasts. Who we decide to marry, the job we decide. Actually, Barnaby mentioned a lot of these earlier. But especially in the moral realm, we may choose to volunteer, to cheat, to donate, to avenge versus forgive, to sacrifice based on our affective forecasts. But since these forecasts likely are inaccurate, that means we're making some foolish choices. So learning to be accurate forecasters, including benevolently attending to the affect of others, that is, also looking at interpersonal affective forecasting, may increase wisdom, reduce foolishness, and help people